So the next type of cell found in the blood are called leukocytes. And these are commonly called white blood cells. Leukocytes are different than the other cells in blood in that these guys all have a nucleus, and then some of them have organelles inside of them. The organelles show up as these little grains when you look at them under a microscope. So oftentimes leukocytes are broken up into granulocytes and agranulocytes, as in no granules, depending on if they have organelles. All leukocytes have the same function, and that's to destroy foreign things in the body. They play a big role in our body's immune system, so I'm going to save a lot of the intricacies on those for the videos on that. There are 5 types of leukocytes: neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, lymphocytes, and monocytes. Neutrophils are the most common, and they usually act as our first defense against a new infection, whereas cells like eosinophils and basophils are less common, and they're more important in our longer-term immunity. They also play a big role in allergic reactions, which is just an immune response that attacks your own body. Lymphocytes are part of the body's more specific immune response, and monocytes are the largest. Monocytes are the largest leukocyte, and they handle the bigger issues like bacteria and fungus and fully infected cells. In this video, we're just going to talk about the general names, but I'll dive into more detail in my videos on the lymphatic system. Lastly, we have erythrocytes, or red blood cells. These are the most numerous parts of blood. Lastly, we have erythrocytes, or red blood cells, and these are the most numerous parts of blood. Because there are so many of them, it gives blood that distinct red color. So the red blood cell's job is to carry oxygen from the lungs, drop it off to the tissue, wherever that tissue is in the body, pick up the waste that's left over from the cell, and bring it back to the lungs. Fun fact, red blood cells turn red when they bind to oxygen and turn more of a blue color when there's no oxygen in them, when they have CO2. That's why the blood in your arteries is red, whereas the blood in your veins is more of that dark blue color. So erythrocytes have developed 2 structures that make them really good at grabbing hold of oxygen and carrying it where it needs to go. One is their shape. Red blood cells are shaped like a concave disc, or kind of like a... One is their shape. Red blood cells are shaped kind of like a concave disc. And that surface area, One is their shape. Red blood cells are shaped like a concave disc, and this increases their surface area, which allows more space for the oxygen and CO2 to stick on. The other special property is this structure inside the red blood cell called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is made up of iron-containing molecules called heme, and that iron reacts to the oxygen, which allows the oxygen to stick to the blood cell and then easily be carried away.